It's too cold.
Is it?
Oh.
Everything is coming my direction. Told them I said yesterday.
Relax.
We almost hit 80 degrees. In our room. Yep. We had some of that prayer and pledge or switch or something like that. That was the prayer and pledge. So they fixed it. It's better to I knew there was.
Okay.
It was.
Prayer's always the worst.
I need the prayers.
You want us to give you prayers? No. Oh, no. I'm getting there, but I'm not
Where's your-
quite there yet.
Use your other hand.
No, we did.
Go, go, read it. No, I'm sick.
Okay, same time.
I've never seen.
Right,
I've never
try it. And the last one?
Yeah.
My first
Yeah,
time,
one
me,
thing.
last time she,
Person that sits with the heater, holding the heater in her face and a blanket. And not way in the other office, you could hang heat in there. Or Mr. Davis. Can you adjust this? Can you adjust this? And they go, can you adjust it? Can you adjust it?
Brandon, were you gonna be bad putting the knobs in there?
Um,
bad idea.
didn't have to do, but it would have been probably. Probably.
It was maybe not a smart parental decision, but the good news is I wasn't the parent on the parent, but it was
Yeah,
fun decision.
you consider that fun?
Well,
Very subjective there.
I will give you that. It was fun. It was awesome taking camping to go.
Oh, that was first.
Yeah. Megan Morone.
So, there are some off.
You sing songs.
Big younger.
Sure.
She sings
I have a lot of questions.
Don't know who that is.
I'm so Illinois and it was.
Sing her country.
Type of embarrassing things, maybe
After school
I would love
started.
that.
But ours randomly just changed the day.
Oh, really? Just one person.
There-
Just
it
one
was Friday.
radio.
It was a
I know that.
Sunday concert at the Illinois State
I would tell
Fair.
Brian, I'm going, I'm out of here. I'm done.
She's young. That's when my mom's younger.
Yeah, change the one at elementary, you have to have a PhD.
Illinois State Fair record, not.
But I think.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
Allie and I think got it in 3 tries the other day. It only took us 3. I was like, ready, Allie? Run. And go, program. Shoot, still didn't get
You're talking about your.
the clocks. Yeah, just set the clocks and the PhD and the way you have to stand just right to get the clocks to go.
Son has to be able to.
So we don't have any,
Sky.
seem like a lot of work to be able to find. We'd rather not.
So we got it in 3 attempts the other day. So by the bells.
They say goes.
17 more cities.
I have 7 o'clock. I'm ready to get started. All right. Yes, all the meeting in order. Can't remember which one. Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for your presence in our lives. Thank you for this opportunity for us to learn here tonight. Thank you for your many blessings. We ask for your guidance and protection over the students and staff. Thank you for a successful start to this school year. May we make decisions in your favor. In Jesus' name we pray.
Sean Bean,
Here.
Joanne Hathaway. Here. Brian Hughes.
Here.
Jason Plain,
Here.
Faith Hayes. Here. Steve Russell.
Here.
Brandon Bowman.
Here.
All right, so we have any changes to the agenda.
We do not.
All right, so we need an approval for the agenda. Make that motion.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. All right, and then we have our approval of the minutes. We have an approval of the minutes. And second? All those in favor?
Aye.
School highlights and reports.
Okay, well, yep, up and rolling with some great things going on the first few weeks. We did have 265 families join us for our back to school night. One of the new fun things that we're experiencing is we're having the developmental preschool kiddos are actually being housed at our elementary versus being transported over to Turkey Run, and that's been wonderful. It's been great. Our teacher is she's doing a great job. And the teaching assistant, they're doing wonderful with these kids. We're starting to kind of get into that ready thing. So, we are continuing our partnership with the Red and White and the Cave Christian Church this year to provide our food bags to students each Friday. And that first one goes home October 3rd, and then we'll go home every Friday until the new school year. I'm sure you guys have heard, Mr. West is joining the elementary staff for part of the day, and that's been going really well. He comes over to work as a behavior interventionist. And also the attendance officer for us, and he is doing a great job of tracking student behavior, working with students, talking them through that, getting them some resources to hopefully prevent those behaviors in the future. So he's really hitting his stride and going. And then another kind of exciting thing that our 4th through 6th graders are getting a little pumped about is starting Monday. Our 4th through 6th grade students are participating in elective courses. And so they're able to opt into which ones they're prefer, and these are being all taught by our elementary teachers. They kind of chose their passion projects. So we have veterinary medicine by an actual vet tech, so I think that's pretty cool. They can choose to take Spanish, coding, plant and soil science, culinary arts, cosmetology, basic automotive maintenance. Great for Mr. Kent, because I think he's going to let them kind of use his car. So we'll see how that goes. Health careers and the junior SRO program. So these courses rotate on a 3-week basis. The kids opted into the ones that they're interested in, the ones they're not interested in. They'll go through those, and they do have to meet some requirements to be able to stay in their electives. So that includes no Fs currently in the grade books. If they're in Fs, then they're going to a math lab or an ELA lab to help with those grades. They can't have more than 2 discipline write-ups in that 3-week period of time. Otherwise, then, they may be meeting with Mr. West to kind of talk about what that behavior is looking like. And they can't be missing more than 2 assignments. Then we're going to work on getting them caught up in those. So we're kind of hoping that's a little bit of a motivator to keep the grades up, keep the assignments completed, and those types of things. And then we'll switch up through the second semester. So they're really looking forward to that.
Is it new?
Yes.
And it echoes our
Yes.
program.
So when we pulled up the list of the high school pathways, I told teachers, I said, kind of choose some things that maybe are your passion. If they fit into a pathway, great. And they're supposed to kind of help talk that up. Like, if this is really interesting to you now, as you plan for junior high school, this is something you might want to start looking at. Or maybe they always thought, I always wanted to be a vet. And then they go to this and they realize, I don't want to be a vet. Then hopefully maybe we can kind of get that ball rolling, so.
I don't know. Well, you did, so I have to.
All right, so I just have a couple things in the life of the high school. First off, we did want to thank the Community Foundation. They provided, Mr. Colbert filled out a grant for 9 portable baskets and 44 sets so that we can have a disc golf unit in our PE class. So they provided that, and they'll get to do a disc golf unit, which is really exciting because we're kind of expanding those things. And then also not on here, we had a substitute teacher reach out and just wanted us to know as a district, this is their quote, not mine, but you all have it really together up there. And that was what she said, and I was like, great, so you wanna come back? And Nikki was calling, she was like, yeah, I do, but I just want you to know you guys have it really together. And I didn't ask who didn't have it together, we could probably imagine. But I thought that was a good compliment from a substitute at multiple buildings. And then also an SRO reached out and said, hey, your corporation is far ahead on your school safety stuff. I'm helping with some southern schools, we'll say, and we're leaps and bounds ahead of where other people are. So that was really cool to hear. So of course we're gonna brag about that a little bit, because why not? And then here is just kind of an August snapshot. We're at 98% attendance rate so far for the school year, and that's fantastic. We ended at 96 last year, which is also fantastic. We did get 6 staff members who are qualified to teach dual credit, which is more than we had last year. So that's always a plus. We had some good new hires that can do dual credit as well. And that's exciting because it makes our kids who are doing ICC able to take more of our in-house classes. We don't have to kind of grandfather those outside of tech. We have already elected our class officers and class representatives, and we are already voting for homecoming, which sounds crazy, but it is the 5th. So it's gonna be here in like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. So, girls need time to buy dresses. So we are gonna have a dance. The student council is gonna get together and plan that, whether it's gonna be Friday night if they don't want it formal, Saturday if they do want it formal, and all of the things connected to that. Pep session and a bonfire and a movie, and we're just gonna live here that week. So if you need me, Mel and I will be at the school for sure. We're gonna hook Robbie into doing it too. So those are kind of the things coming up. And then August academics, by the numbers, we had 73 students enroll in AP courses in our building this year. That's fantastic numbers for us especially. 6 students are enrolled in ICC and will be completers their senior year. So we'll have 6 students walk out with their academic honors and technical honors diploma, but also their first year of college classes done. And that transfers to any state university in Indiana. So 6 students will already have that knocked out, which is awesome. And 2 of those are also completing an elementary educational technical credential, which is also really great. So, and we had 163 students enroll in dual credit, and that's not counting WRCTE. That's just dual credit we're offering either through us or Ivy Tech. So a lot of our kids are starting to sort of see the benefits that the extra work gives them and bite on that. Even kids who maybe aren't college bound are still like, hey, I'm interested in this field, so I still want to go as far as I can in that field. So that's really exciting. Those numbers are even higher than what we had last year. I thought we had really good numbers at the end of last year for who earned credits. So we're looking forward to, what all that brings. And if you want to supervise a dance, I'll meet.
Is that gonna be like your repetitive line at every
Every
meeting?
meeting, yeah. And every staff meeting, PLC. Yeah, I'm just trying to hook people in parent meeting, just seeing if anyone's interested in supervising dances. It's a good time. We use DJ from our watch. Yeah, of course.
The attendance rate,
Yes.
how is that measured?
Harmony. So Harmony does it automatically. We can run an attendance review from any date to any date. It'll tell you by grade level what percentage they're at, and then overall for the building what percentage they're at.
So 98%, what does that mean?
That means 98% of our kids have been in attendance from the 6th to now.
So 98% have perfect attendance?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the target?
95 is what you have to be
Gotcha.
technically by the state.
Yeah.
So us using that is awesome.
The 73 students enrolled in AP courses, how does that relate to the number of students that could enroll in AP courses? I know it's not
Yeah.
every student, right?
Yeah.
Certain grade
Right.
levels, right?
Yep, sophomores, juniors, and seniors.
Okay,
Yep.
so,
So you're probably
About
looking at
150
60, yes, yeah.
yeah, okay.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that 2 students for the elementary education credential, what does that mean?
So they are graduating high school with the certification elementary ed. So they can go on to finish their associates, and they have most of that done. So it just enables a pathway to them to be teaching a lot.
Accelerates.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So it kind of fits our grow your own
Yeah.
sort of mentality really well. And Becky Orr is doing our elementary ed in our building. We started the vocational here. So she's running that. We're working with Paris classrooms and kids. And so, yeah, we're just trying to come up with more options.
Good stuff.
I just used 10 grand in tuition only, I just checked
Yeah, right.
for 1 year, so.
Pretty relevant for you.
For 10, 12 grand, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Plus, I mean, that's just tuition.
Right.
And cost of living, it's probably $20,000 a year to live, you know,
Big city.
or more now.
It's really handy. A lot of kids are starting to sort of value that more than they have in the past, and it's becoming realistic because Lane, for example, is doing it, so other people see, oh, these 4 kids are doing it. Can I do that? What does that look like? And so we can work on that. Just kind of get the word out here too. Because they use the cash.
That's cool. Good stuff.
We also this year have 2 classes of robotics.
Yes.
So this year, our robotics teacher, which we house here in our corporation, we're doing 2 classes, so it's fully funded by CTE.
Which is awesome.
Which is really money back, which is really awesome. So, good stuff.
Thank you.
All right, and the meeting for public participation. So, we play along with recommendations.
The first recommendation that I have for you tonight is I'm asking permission to advertise the 2026 budget. So in your packet, you can see these are all filled out through Gateway. What we do each year in July is we sit down and we break down, we look at estimated numbers for students for next year. We look at the past year, we look at the tax rates, we look at all things, and then we set the budget, and that was with Mr. Fletter and I did that. And so in September, we asked to advertise that. So we would advertise the budget. It also includes the bus replacement plan and the capital projects plan, which is in there, which is, I know it's been said before, there's not a bus fund anymore, but they still make us do a bus replacement plan, which means you schedule out when buses are past 12 years of age, and then you either have to get them, checked twice a year or replace it. And then same thing with capital projects. So those are listed in there. It also has the notice to the public and the taxpayers. And so with your permission to advertise before the September meeting, which would be the hearing for the public to come in and question us on the budget, we first have to advertise it. So it's really pretty comparable to last year. We do have a raise in projected numbers, which is a great thing. I'll talk a little bit more about that later. So the education budget request is a little bit bigger than it was before. So if you look at the numbers, but last year we were around 10.5 million. This year we're a little over 11 million requested for the budget. And the state will give you whatever the numbers fall out to be. So it's a budget, it's proposed, we're going to ask, and hopefully we take what we get. So we get a 1782 notice, which I should be getting that here in the next month. And when I get that, that kind of breaks down what they think we're going to have in our education fund based on our AD numbers, our average daily membership. So once I get that notice, I'll definitely share that with you, because that's something that we take to the bargaining team as well. So if you have questions on it, I'd be more than happy to talk through that. But if not, I'm asking permission to advertise the 2026 budget, bus replacement, and capital projects plan.
The difference between the tax levy and the budget on operations. What happens with that?
Well, that is part of the new SEA bill. And so we have advertised our operations budget based on the tax levy that's already set with the county. We haven't done anything to raise it. It's based on last year's levy, and then usually it's a 2%. But with the new SEA bill, I'm not sure how much it plays into that 2%, to be honest with you. But I could look into that more. To get you more information on that. But I know that when I got it here because I brought it, just in case somebody asks. Last year, our adopted tax levy was $3,554,000. This year it's $3,640,000. So there's a little bit of a change. Your adopted tax rate, that we're projecting for this year is 0.75, and last year it was 0.86. So to me, that's a good thing.
Did our operations budget go up?
Yes, a little bit.
Yeah.
With the SRO, that's a big one. Plus we allowed for 2% of inflation, just because the water bill goes up, the electric bill goes up.
I was just wondering what happens if people present this to the state with $1 million difference between budget and levy.
Right.
What are they gonna do?
Well, they'll look at, well, some of it is due because of the ADM. Because when you look at the education fund,
I'm just talking about the operations.
yeah, just the operations, they'll come back and say, yes, you can have it, or you can't. It's just a proposed budget. I'm trying to build it in there to where we get it without affecting the tax rate.
Right.
So-
I just don't know how that's going. I know we always have a little bit of difference, but I think that's,
Well, those numbers, we don't have a whole lot to say with those numbers.
I know,
Yeah,
I know, that's
those
why
are
I'm
just
bringing
in
it
there.
up, because
Yeah.
I didn't know if you had an idea of what to expect
Um,
there. or-
well, remember last month we talked about, the whole, do we want to borrow money, do we not want to borrow
Right.
money, how's that going to affect the tax rate? It all depends on where the levy falls out, because if it goes down, that tax rate's going to move, it's
Yeah,
going to go up.
yeah, which
In operations, it's going to affect operations, because that's where the tax money comes in,
this budget is based on the limit going down,
yes.
right? Yes. So they could keep the levy where it is.
They could, but I don't think that they will. I don't know. This is my first run at it.
I know that. I didn't know if Paul.
He's keen on
enlightened
this,
you
but,
with that or what?
yeah, and,
Because, I mean, the only thing is if we got a $3.4 million budget in operations,
Mhm.
present that to the state.
Mhm.
We got levies for 2.4,
Mhm.
and they say, nope, you can only get 2.4.
well, last year we had a 3.4 operations, or 2.2 levy. This year, in operations, this year it's 2.4. And the difference was, is I added in there the 2% of inflation, and we added the SRO part of his yearly salary to the operations budget. But the levy and the tax rate are already set. So the numbers that are in there come straight out of the government gateway. I mean, we can fudge some, when we put the summary of the sheet and when we build our, what's called Form 1, that's where we're saying this is how much we're gonna use out of all of our lines in each fund, and then we get to the operations fund. When I build that budget, the only thing that I changed from this year to last year's budget was the SRO. And then on utilities, and I think insurance, because they always go up, we put 2%. Because we're not meeting our levy anyway.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if they'll try to, I don't think they can increase that.
they can't increase the
They
levy.
can't.
Well, you can if you have special permission or
Right.
special circumstance, but you can't. So it is what it is. Now, we can change the tax rate if we want by increasing debt or, but we're not, so. So I think what we're doing is about the best that we could do. And according to Mr. Flutterer, I'll use his words, your budget could operate itself. It's that behind you, I think he's patting himself in the back on that.
Okay, well.
So, I mean, he's not here on Tuesday because he's working with a
Yeah.
partner school.
Yeah.
He's working with 3 or 4 other schools and they're not in very good shape. But,
Right.
So he felt like we were fine.
Okay.
So,
Oh, it just pops out there.
no, yeah. Well, and it's a proposed budget, and so when we send it off to the DLGF, they come back and be like, no, this is what you're gonna get. And we can say, we wanna redo that, we wanna recheck, or we're like, yep, that's not what we
Traditionally, we always submit more than we think.
And that's what we've done.
That just seemed like a large difference.
Not too much, I don't think. So,
Anybody else have questions?
Okay, so we'll need a motion to advertise 2026 budget bus replacement capital projects plan.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Second thing I have for you today is this year we have a student that's enrolled that needs an aid coming from ABA therapy. And so the parent's insurance is paid for that person, but because we have a person who's not a non-employee, we have a memorandum of understanding with the company. The company is Full Spectrum. Are they? They're not. There's one in Crawfordsville, but that's not them. They might be out of Indianapolis, but anyway, they provide a daily person every day to come in and sit with this child to monitor behaviors and things like that. And so this is the agreement between the school and Full Spectrum that covers us legally for not paying for that person, or if there's an injury or something like that, because we're not liable. So I'm asking for approval of the MOU with Full Spectrum.
Do we have a motion for approval? Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Next thing I have is we sent out propane bids as we do every year. We received 2 back. Those 2 bid proposals are in your packet. I am going to make the recommendation that we approve the propane bid from Overpeck Transport in the amount of $1.07.30 per gallon for the 25-26 school year.
How much volatility is there on that number? Is there any volatility up and down? Is it locked in for a certain area or?
It's locked in for 1 year. Yeah, well, and it's actually locked in till August 31st.
All right, any other questions on the proposal? Do we have a motion for approval?
I'll make a motion to approve.
In a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Did you have a question? The last item that I have is personnel. So under personnel, there's several things here. We have a couple of resignations. We have Jamie Atutis, who resigned. She was going to teach junior high math. And so she took a job right before the school year started with school in Illinois. And then we have a letter of resignation from John McGee. He was going to teach special ed and math intervention. And he got stolen from us. His wife is the superintendent of Covington. He was superintendent of Covington. So he just decided to go there, but we understand that. So I will ask for your approval for those 2 resignations.
Do we have a motion to approve those resignations?
Second.
All those in favor?
For appointments, we have Addison Bettinger, who is coming to us from Covington. There's the connection there. We took there. So she's going to be teaching the junior high math, and she's already started with us. We also have an appointment for Lane Woolwine, who is going to be a teaching assistant at the elementary school. We have an appointment for Savannah Foltz, who is going to be the elementary developmental pre-K aide, which I'll talk a little bit more about. We have Savannah Bogart, who is our bus aide for the very early morning route. That was replacing Michelle Hughes' position on the bus. And then she's also going to stay at the elementary for until about 12:30 to finish out a half-day schedule. And then we have coaches. So for the elementary, we are asking for Zoe Hughes for the elementary cheer coach. Lane Woolwine for sixth grade boys basketball, as well as sixth grade girls volleyball, and Amanda Whitmore for sixth grade girls basketball. And then junior, senior high coaches, Bob Spencer for varsity cross country, Cody Zumwalt for junior high football, Michael Phillips as a volunteer assistant in junior high football, Bruce Skaggs for junior high cross country, and Zoe Hughes for junior high cheer coach. So those are all of the appointments. If you want to talk individually or break it down, you can. Or you can vote them all in one vote.
I think we can. One vote for three of the stuff. But I do have a quick question. How many licensed math teachers do we have now?
Overall, that's-
Is it one thing we were struggling
We were struggling, they were licensed, just under emergency license.
Yes.
But
But they transitioned.
everybody is, everybody's either transitioning and certified.
With the emergency license, it's temporary, you have to get here.
Yes.
It's only for 1 year.
1 year.
I think you can renew it one time, maybe, but I don't think you can renew it.
No.
Yeah.
Concerns.
Right, especially. So we are currently looking for a sped teacher, and we had 2 applicants, and so we hope to have another appointment next month, so.
Any questions on that? Motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
Second? All those in favor? All right, Jason, you're up.
Alright, for claim 62,097, 62,189, the amount of $575,216.27. And the payroll July 3rd, 2025, for $148,571.13. Also July 18th, 2025, for the amount of $151,932.94. I'm making a motion to approve
All those in favor?
Aye.
In your packet, a couple tabs back, you have your budget summary from Mr. Flederer. Again, he said, there's no concerns at this point. Things are going very well. You can see on the education fund, the cash balance is still right where it has been. I think it's gonna grow a little bit, and that's another reason why the decision that we would maybe pause on looking at selling a bond or borrowing money because of that cash balance. So we're chugging along right where we need to be. Mid-year, when we look at our appropriations percentage, we want to be about 50%. All of our funds are running about 50% or over. Operations, it's good. We just had the tax draw back in June, so things are healthy, and you're going to see things go down, and then they'll probably go negative until we get our tax draw in December. So, but we are still on target to be at that $300,000 again. Right now we're holding to that, so we think we're going to be really close. I don't think it's out of the question to think that we may have to ask for an additional appropriation before the end of the year, but we did that last year, and we were fine. And so we've got the money there. We've had a lot of things to fix here this summer, so it wouldn't surprise me if we don't have to ask for an additional appropriation. But really, the flow, the cash flow looks really, really good. So if you have any questions over that, there's nothing that sticks out or anything new.
I don't have any questions on that, but I'm curious where we're seeing like we're heading from an enrollment perspective.
I got that for you.
What was that? Say?
Where we're going to land for enrollment.
I got a question related to finance. So the salary payment, is all that finalized, everything's paused? Do you think we should have some routine review of that account, just to make sure? Just Officials, you know what I'm saying? If we do a financial report, should that be part of it?
It's, right now, it's in a 91-day CD. And so I can tell you, because we just renewed it and signed it over. I don't have the figures in front of me, but it's drawing interest, and the interest from the first 90 days went, the second 90 days, the interest went up. So it's a little higher, because it's right at 4%. It wasn't signed on that the other day. Usually signed on that. And so it just, we took the investments and just rolled it right back into it and invested it back all into it. But if you want, I can tell you what the balance is. I mean, it doesn't
Yeah,
change.
I wasn't sure if that was a matter of school, it really isn't school finance, so to speak.
Well, it's just sitting there,
Is
drawing interest. But I can give you it's only going to change every 91 days.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when it does change, I can give you the balance. Because we're not taking any money from it. We have our, I don't know how you want to explain it, we have our checking account in the bank, which is what we're paying through our funds. But then we have separate accounts that aren't touched. And they're not part of the appropriation. I guess we say they're not.
Right, yeah,
So that's one of them.
yeah, I know that. It's all under our responsibility.
Well, it is, yeah. I mean, anytime that we want to spend, it's gonna show, it's gonna be a transaction, because we're gonna take it from your savings account to your checking account, so it's gonna show in a line that we borrow money from that, which we probably will in the next year, if we want to. Because it's there.
But the state doesn't know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So we
The
probably.
state was the one who, as a matter of fact, I'm going to Ice Miller in 2 weeks to pick up all of our boxes.
Yeah, so we probably should have some.
It's in
Sign
there.
off or something, right?
You can call Shelley at any time. It's public knowledge.
But the sign off would only be to spend it, right? That's what we have to prove is spending it.
No.
We ask, and you can spend it for whatever you want.
No, I mean, like the board would have.
Oh, yeah.
on the-
It's just like, well, it's just like any company plans. So, for example, if we decide to borrow money from that fund to buy one-to-one devices, I'm not gonna take it out of what's appropriated, because it'll suck the appropriation out, and we won't have that to pay for what we have appropriated.
Right.
So I'll earmark, and we'll just say, we're gonna transfer $100,000 over from this to purchase a bus, or to purchase one-to-one devices. And then you'll see that transaction. And it'll be I mean, if you look through the finances, it'll be like, well, what's this? This, maybe a pretty significant move, if we're gonna move some over. But right now, we're not there yet, so the next year, I think we're gonna need to buy a bus. I've got dibs on a couple of used ones already. We're definitely gonna have to roll out new one-to-one devices for everyone. This year we've got it for two grade levels. Just make sure it works. It's cheaper than what we've had before. So before we did it all in, we wanted to try to give it a trial to see, but those are the big ticket items that I was gonna do some input like that. But we can take, as Paul said when I talked to him, you know, you can take some of the money from this cash balance in the education fund and use that to purchase Chromebooks.
Yes.
Is that what we're trying?
Yes.
That's just.
Yeah. And the reason for that is Apple, you get caught in the Apple web, and then you gotta buy. Yeah. We have some people that are Apple fans that are struggling with our decision to go maybe.
Provide our own computers and
They're
not
not.
fine. I'll buy my own computer.
But yeah, so I mean, that is our money, and we can use it however we want. Right now, it's locked in for 90 days, I mean, for 8 to 9 days, we just signed it like 2 days ago. So, or last Friday, but anytime we wanna do that, so when the 91-day term comes up, which is in November, I believe, we can say, hey, before we roll over, we're gonna take some money out and put it into our rolling accounts for this spend this week. And then Shelley would set up a line, an appropriation line, and say, okay, we're gonna spend $100,000 on a new bus, or transferring money from our settlement fund, and we're gonna buy a bus with it. We have 2 funds that are outstanding still, not outstanding, but outside of the appropriated budget. One of them is the settlement fund, and the other one is we still have some money left over from the construction fund, and which is not, it's still our money, but we've saved that back to help pay for the parking lot renovation, because that was supposed to be done. Very good. They're chip sealing, they're doing it on Saturday. Because I asked him which Saturday, and he said, well, not this one, that was last weekend, so I don't know, it's next Saturday. So, I tell you, the funny thing is, every time I ask him, I need an update, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. We did finally get the pavement down in front of the Circle Drive, so that's, and new curbs, and so we're getting close. They are going to restripe them, yes, but they are not resealing and recoating.
That's why, that's the reason why I came up.
It looks kind of bad right now because like the front and the side looks so nice and crisp, and then the back is like, what is this? But that was another big chunk of money that he's like, I don't think this is bad back here. It's newer pavement that they put down in the big project. It's just, yeah. You can tell where the budget stopped.
Pretty smart about that.
But I will say this as well, because people have asked, is Falcon Drive, the whole front entrance by the south end was redone. It was ground up and redone. Where they stopped all the way north to the stop sign is just going to be chip sealed, because that will get us to where we need to be, not cost us so much. So that's, they're going to do that on a Saturday. So bit of a chip seal. Any other questions about budget? Let's have a few updates. Again, I want to thank the administration, our bus drivers. Wow, new bus drivers, new kids, new routes. We had really no problems. We had one little issue with bus 4. It didn't really break down. There was just a loose wire that was found that kept causing the buzzers and whistles to go off. And so it was an easy fix. It was fixed by 5 o'clock that evening. But anyway, they've done a great job. Everything has been really, really smooth, really good start. Our enrollment last year in the spring count was 690. Right now, we're at 709. I don't know if we're going to lose too many more, if we're going to gain too many more. We're still in the early stages.
I got one more, okay.
So it could be 705, it could be 750, but I think the important thing to know is we're going to be up. Project updates, the transportation center is done. We have the new gas tanks there, the new pad. They've got the charging stations in for the buses. It really looks nice over there. If you want to drive over and look at it, really sets that off. As of today, the parking lot, 2 more weeks. So the other thing that I just wanted to share with you is we did make a change with our developmental preschool. And I contacted the other superintendents that we share that program with Southwest Park and North Central Park. Talked to our Director of Special Services, Jody Kimbo from Wabash River. And we made the decision based on a couple things, but in case you're hearing things, you should be hearing good things from our parents, is when you, it's hard to say how long exactly each kid is on the bus, but the way our district is out, we have one developmental elementary school that lives way out on 136, farthest western house in our district, farther west than almost where I'm at. And then we have another little one that's way out on, I'm not even, Dead Man's Holler or something termed, on the very bottom side. And so by the time we pick up one and go pick up another and drive them all the way over to the program Turkey Run, they're on the bus for a long time. And then we haven't even put the preschoolers on there yet. So when you add 3 stops of preschoolers, you're talking like kids on the bus until 5:30, 6 o'clock. And I couldn't do it. So we just stuck with this support. You know, we have a staff member who is qualified. The schedule worked out really well. So we're offering the same program with the same hours, same services, but they're on the bus 20 minutes.
And somebody's required man-to-man defense, but we do it, okay?
Yeah. So
Just as many of
So
us
our-
in there.
So our developmental preschool program was at Rockville, so we were picking those kids up, driving them to Rockville for 2.5 hours, then going and getting them and bringing them back. Now we're housing that facility at the elementary school. So the high school houses the junior, senior high life skills program, and then our elementary is housing our own elementary developmental preschool kids. So we think it's a good thing. And so that's why we hired an extra aide, because now we're saving money because we're not paying proportionate share to Rockville, who was, we were paying them for our 3 kiddos there, and now we're keeping that money. And so it's cost savings actually. It's cheaper. So another thing we're trying to do, it's best for kids, number one, and it's a cost savings for us as well. And we're not running a midday bus route. So that savings.
The kid turns over there across the state line, you know, I'm just asking, if and they're wanting to come here, and they get to come for the open house and school and everything. There's something about, they got, where they're over here, their address over here now, or whatever. If their school is making them do online classes for so long, before they're releasing or something, is that legal?
Yeah, I can talk to you about that.
Okay, you know more about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can tell you, when you live in Illinois,
It's great.
you can only come to school here for 2 reasons. One, you move here. Or 2, you have to sign over a third-party custodial agreement to someone who does live here. And so people that are adamant about having their kids not go to school across the line will sign that paper. That paper's tough to sign because there's only 3 things to check, and really only 2 apply. And it's you're abandoning your child is what really is the fits,
Someone else is going to have to carry.
and someone else is going to have to care for the child. And so people are like, I don't care, I'll sign whatever I need to do, I don't want to go to school. And
It also eliminates contact, like we can't contact the real parent, we have to contact whoever's in their phone.
And so what happens is people play the game and they're like, okay, I'm listing Sadie as my child's, educational caregiver because I can't take care of them. So the school relates everything to Sadie, and then Sadie gives all her Harmony passwords and everything that comes through email, and gives us a bogus email that goes straight to. That's how you do this.
I can understand why kids.
And we have some, we've got a handful of kids, we know they live in Illinois, and they've signed over the paper, and their parents drive them over and drop them off. But the thing about that agreement is both parties, either side of that party can terminate that agreement at any time. So your Sadie might be like, you know what, your kid's too much, we're done, and they go back to them. Or the parent says, I don't want her watching them anymore, they go back to them. And that's happened as well.
Okay, thanks.
Other than that, it's really good to see the start, and we're excited. A lot of good things happening, so.
Did we base on our educational budget off the 690 that we had last spring? Is that what we did?
You have to estimate what you think you're gonna have.
That's what I mean, like,
Yeah.
did we use 690?
And so I looked at outgoing, senior class, which was low last year. And you base it off what you think you're gonna get for kindergarten, and then you just pray and hope that you get that for kindergarten. And so the ADN count is October, the first, October second, well, for October first. And
They'll have to go
so,
knocking on doors.
yeah, so the state takes our ADN number that's recorded, Christie does a state report, and then that's how they determine your Form 54, your monthly budget that the state sends us for our.
The 690 would be, anything above 690 would be, keep us in the black, and below 690 would be.
It's not, it doesn't go us into red, it just means that we're getting, they're only gonna give you the number, so you gotta play with, okay, if we got less students can we staff that? How do we adjust that?
But 690 would be no major changes for us to consider.
Yeah, well, when you look at our education budget, and we're sitting at the cash balance that we have, we've done really well about not adding staff in the last couple of years. And so now that we've got some money, we want to be very careful. We've added a couple programs this year, added a couple of staff this year, but we really want to watch it because the trend is going to show that, we've got some big classes now, not this year, but starting next year, that they're going to start graduating 60 plus, high 50s, and we're only bringing it 40. So we're going to start seeing that drop and drop and drop. So we're going to have to start looking at ways to, we'll have to see how many kids are out of the building for classes and book ed. When we have retirements, we're going to be creative on what we do there. That's what it is. That's all I have.
Meeting adjourned.
Yeah, there's some things that you were asked to sign. If you've got those, make sure they get back to the Matt.
I think I have signed my whole life story, then I did.
Can you do it again in 5 months? Yeah.
Is this for next year?
Yeah.
Or where we get it? Perfect.